We're gonna start. We have a little variety hour in this first hour. It's going to be busy. We have lots of your favorites coming up. And this is the time of night when I always like to start with this product because a lot of you are thinking about going to bed in an hour or two. And you probably are already thinking, am I gonna sleep tonight? You know, for anybody that has trouble falling asleep, and more people do, especially as we get older, I think a lot of people find as they get older, it's even more difficult to fall asleep. This is a godsend. This is a product that will gently give your body what it needs to naturally fall asleep. Tonight, I will absolutely take this. I take it on nights when I work late and I'm wide awake and I want to sleep. This is just a gift you give yourself. You don't have to take it every night if you don't want to. You can, but you don't have to. A lot of us keep it on hand to take it when we need it. I know when you travel, it's a great product to take because you know different time zones, your body clock gets goofed up. It's a really amazing product, and we have it everything's birthday priced, everything's free shipping and handling, everything's being offered. Again, on the big bottles are all in flex pay for you. So this is the perfect time to stock up and try nighttime or get your nighttime tonight.
And one of the more interesting aspects and the simple aspects of a nighttime product, first of all product is an ultrafine powder in a capsule. Why is that important? Because when you take a product that's supporting sleep, that product needs to be available to your body and available to your body quickly. Typical products are in tablets. Tablets are, first of all, difficult to swallow. They're difficult to dissolve. They're more challenging to dissolve. I could open this capsule here. Actually, the herbs in this capsule the botanicals are quite pungent in terms of their odor. But the difference with a product like this, that ultrafine powder, is immediately available for absorption. It's not going to upset your stomach. And ours is a combination of ingredients. If you use too much of any one ingredient, that's when you run the risk of having a hangover in the morning to have the kinds of side effects that you don't want. What we do is we take the full sort of the full menu of ingredients that Mother Nature provides to create a relaxing state. This is not something that's intended to knock you out and put you right to sleep. That's what drugs and medicines are intended to do with all their side effects and all their habit-forming consequences. What this product delivers is that relaxing state that really allows us to go to sleep. And you were talking about before, Colleen, that a lot of folks, if you have trouble going to sleep, it's almost like you dread a process that should be a process that's soothing and relaxing and calming, and it becomes just the opposite almost, that we worry about whether we'll be able to sleep. We get anxious about it, which of course only further undermines the sleep process. And that's one of the most important things we do for sleep, is creating what's called a hygienic sleep environment. When we think in terms of sleep hygiene, a dark environment, a cool environment, a quiet environment, and by dark, eliminating all sources of light in the room. That there are all sorts of things we could do, no caffeine late in the day, that we focus on foods that are going to be supportive of a relaxing state, and that we also don't eat too close or too far away from the time we're going to sleep. There's no magic way to go to sleep, but there are ways that we could provide a more relaxing state, and then our body will naturally go to sleep, and that's what this product is intended to deliver back to us.
Perfect. All right. If you have a minute, go read the reviews on hsn.com. It's a big customer pick, but we're going to wrap this up because there's, as I said, a lot happening in this first hour. We call it a variety hour, so you're going to see a really nice mix of products. And I get excited about your July visit. I think we all look forward to this visit. It's one of the most, exciting visits for those of us, that take healthy hair, skin, and nails, because you know you're going to get the best value.